Hey everybody, happy Monday. This is Mr. Becker here. So some grammar today. I've kind of mapped out the month. Shooting for about 3 hours work a week with some enrichment stuff if you find that there's not enough. But the big message there is just to do what you can and try and do 3 hours a week, and that will be awesome. If you have any questions, concerns, problems, you can always email me. And yeah, the message remains: take care of yourself, right? Take care of your mental health and everything else, because it's a big deal, right? Okay, so today we're doing some grammar. We're gonna do some just look at commas, trying to get you ready for next year. It's just the basic writing skills that you've already learned them, but just to reinforce and just to remember. There's a sheet you can put and print off and have for a little, writing do-a-tang for next year, with just the various different grammar, punctuation tips and tricks and things like that. And yeah, so it's commas today, and I'll do, after we go through the quick presentation on commas, we'll look at I'll do another little quick one on taking up the hyphens, not hyphens, the apostrophes from last week. Okay, off we go. All right, understanding commas. All right, let's do this. The comma is an extremely versatile little curved punctuation mark. 7 main uses. It's a lot of uses. 1. To separate several adjectives. The old tattered, well-used book lay on the desk. See how comma is placed between the adjectives? Interestingly, we only use the comma in the order if the order of the adjectives is interchangeable. So the old dusty book or the dusty old book both work, so the comma is used. The pretty winter cabin or the winter pretty cabin, right? The second doesn't work, so you can't use a comma there because they're not interchangeable. So you don't use a comma. All right, so separating adjectives. He is tall, dark. He is a tall, dark, handsome man. His wife is an independent, confident, beautiful woman. It was good coffee. Strong, hot, delicious. 2. Commas are used to separate items in a list. For the cake, we need butter, sugar, flour, and eggs. And once again, commas are between the list. Now we're going to talk about Oxford comma here in a second. Sometimes people place a comma after the second last item in the list before the conjunction. I will have sausages, toast, bacon, and eggs. That's the Oxford comma, okay? I like that one personally. I find it helps because to me, bacon and eggs are two different things. If you don't have a comma, bacon and eggs become one thing. All right, so here's the Oxford comma. I like eggs, toast, and coffee. I like eggs, toast, and coffee. Right? The comma makes it so they're two different things. We're toast and coffee together. Yeah. Commas are used to separate in items in the list. So here we go. You need paper, pens, juice, and a snack. He gave me the following: flowers, chocolates, jewelry, and wine. The subjects were history, English, math, geography, and science. 3. Commas are used to separate independent clauses with coordinating conjunctions. So if you have two sentences, right, the independent clauses could be two sentences. You can use a coordinating conjunction. He was tired, so he went to sleep. So he was tired can be a sentence on its own, and he went to sleep could be a sentence on its own. But a comma and a conjunction make it one sentence. If you didn't have the coordinating conjunction, so it would be a comma splice. Yeah, you don't want to do that. All right. He failed the exam and he knew why. She was hungry as she hadn't eaten. Beth went shopping, so Ben watched TV. Commas are also, this is number 4, commas are used to separate introductory elements in a sentence. Although it was hot, he was still wearing a coat. Here the comma comes after the subordinate clause before the main clause. So the subordinate clause can't be a sentence on its own, although it was hot. So that's not a sentence. But you put a comma, it becomes a subordinate clause. Although it was hot, he was still wearing a coat. All right, so indeed, he knew it was wrong. Without thinking, she ran in. However, I do agree with you. In each case, the second part after the comma is a full sentence on its own, but the subordinate clause refines the meaning. And they're not full sentences. So without thinking, she ran in. It changes it from just she ran in to something, it just refines the meaning. So she wasn't thinking when she ran in. 5. Commas are used to enclose an aside, a parenthetical element. I like using it this way. My father, who is the principal of this school, is about to resign. So in this case, there's commas enclosing additional information that refine the meaning again. But the sentence is everything that's before and after the comma. So my father is about to resign. That's the main part of the sentence. So when including parenthetical elements, whatever's between the two commas should be able to be left out and the sentence would still make sense. My uncle, who I don't like very much, is a carpenter. So my uncle is a carpenter. That's the main gist of the sentence. There's just this additional information. Commas are used to enclose an aside. Oh, here we go. We're still doing that. The King's Bridge, which spans the Black River, needs repairing. My son, who I love dearly, is leaving. The course, which takes 3 years, is very expensive. 6. Commas are used in direct speech and quotations. All right, here we go. John shouted, "Don't be a fool!" I won't, I replied. So, see how the commas are used here? So, there we go. They are, the direct speech comes after the comma. All right, and then in the second case, it's the comma, then the quotation mark. In direct speech, you don't always need a comma if other forms of punctuation are used, such as a question mark or exclamation marks. Can you? I asked. So I asked him, "Do you love me?" "That is," he said, "if you pass." She yelled, "Please come back." 7. Commas are used to separate elements of contrast. She appreciated his singing, not his dancing. The comma can be used to separate contrasted elements or indicate a distinct pause or shift. She was ignorant, not stupid. The dog seemed pensive, almost human. You're his friend, aren't you? Got it. So, recap. They're used for the following purposes. Separate several adjectives. Separate items in a list. Separate independent clauses with coordinating conjunctions. To separate introductory elements in a sentence. To enclose an aside, a parenthetical element. Used in direct speech and quotations. And to separate elements of contrast. Just real quick, going back to coordinating conjunctions. You guys remember fanboys? So the fanboys is the list of coordinating conjunctions. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So fanboys. Those are your coordinating conjunctions. You might remember that if you had Miss Jones. All right, on to the next thing. Remember, punctuation is important. Place a comma in the following sentence. Let's eat, Dad. Ooh, let's eat, Dad. Let's eat, Dad. So there's kind of a zombie apocalypse kind of thing going on in the first one. A big difference, yep. Thanks for listening. All right, a little sheet for you to do on the website. Yep, so a little sheet for you to do on the website. And look at like I said, I've kind of mapped out the month there. It's on the calendar, like on the website for the next couple of weeks. Let me know if there's anything you need, and yeah, send me an email if you have any concerns. Okay, take care. Have a good day.